can be surrounded by people and feel completely, devastatingly alone. Not alone like no one is present, alone like no one is actually there. Like you are behind glass watching everyone else exist in a world you cannot quite reach. Like the room is full and you are somehow the only person in it. You know this feeling. Most people do. And most people have never told anyone how often it happens. Here is what makes this genuinely strange. Lions do not feel lonely in a pride. Wolves do not feel isolated in a pack. Fish do not feel disconnected in a school of thousands. Social animals experience the presence of their group as comfort, automatic, immediate, unconditional. Numbers equals safety. Closeness equals belonging. But humans developed something no other social animal has. The ability to be surrounded by their own species and feel profoundly, specifically, unreachably alone.
That is not a modern problem. That is not social media. That is not civilization. That is something that emerged from the deepest and most extraordinary cognitive leap in the history of life on Earth. It starts with the same threshold you have heard about before. Somewhere between 100,000 and 200,000 years ago, human consciousness crossed a line that no other species has ever crossed. We became aware that other people had inner lives we could not access, that the person standing next to us was experiencing a world entirely their own, thoughts, feelings, perceptions that we could never fully see or touch or know. Psychologists call this theory of mind, the ability to understand that other people have minds different from your own. It is what makes empathy possible. It is what makes language meaningful. It is what makes love feel like something more than proximity. And it is the exact same mechanism that makes loneliness possible. Because once you understand that other people have inner worlds, you become aware that yours might not be seen. That the version of you standing in a crowded room might be invisible in the way that actually matters. Not physically invisible, internally invisible. The fear is not that no one is there. The fear is that no one is actually seeing you. That specific terror of being present but unseen, of existing without being known, is uniquely human, and it is ancient. Anthropologists studying hunter-gatherer communities have found that the social structure humans evolved within was not just about physical proximity. It was about being known. Groups of 50 to 150 people where everyone understood everyone else's history, temperament, losses, and loyalties. Where being seen was not something you had to earn. It was built into the fabric of how humans lived. Your brain was built for that world. A world where the people around you knew you. Where presence and being known were the same thing. Then cities happened. Then strangers happened. Then rooms full of hundreds of people who share your physical space, but not your history, not your interior, not the specific weight of who you actually are. And your ancient brain, designed for a world of 50 people who knew you completely, began experiencing something it had no framework for. The presence of humans without the experience of being human together. That is what loneliness in a crowd actually is. Not the absence of people, the presence of people who do not know you. Your brain registering the gap between being surrounded and being seen, between existing and being known. And here is what that means about you right now. The loneliness you have felt in rooms full of people is not weakness. It is not a disorder. It is not evidence that something is wrong with you. It is evidence that your brain is working exactly as designed, searching for what it was built to find. Not people, the right people, the ones who see the actual version of you. That need is not neediness. It is 200,000 years old, and every single human being in every crowded room you have ever stood in has felt exactly the same thing. You were never alone in feeling alone.